Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here. I've actually been wanting to do this video for quite some time right now. It's about the Pokemon election that was in Japan, where you got to vote on all of the Pokemon, and then the rankings finally were fully released. Like, I believe the top 12 were shown like last month or something. Right now we have all of them, so I just kind of want to go and review and react to the list and see what happens. But first off, we have Greninja at number 1. So this kind of gives an idea of the fan culture over in Japan, as well as just the like how well Pokemon held up. Like, I would imagine that if you had an open vote pretty much anywhere, Arceus is definitely going to be top 5, most likely top 3 anywhere. I see the same with Mew. Mew's probably like a global top 5, just because when you think about all of Pokemon, a lot of people, they rate it on different meanings. You know, some people, they immediately look at the strongest Pokemon. Like, whenever there's a legendary poll, it's always between like Mew because Mew's classic and Arceus because God of all Pokemon, highest base stats, it should just be the strongest Pokemon ever, right? So people tend to vote on these reasons, but Greninja being number 1, I'd imagine it's because of the huge fan culture around Greninja and a lot that they've been doing. In the anime, we have Ash Greninja, so there's that whole synchro that they have going on right there. Also, Super Smash Brothers, and just a lot of promotion on Greninja's side, just in general. But the next up, it starts to get a little interesting as we break down further into the list. We have Pikachu at number 4. You know what? When you look at the top 5 seems about what you would expect. Like, Sylveon, most loved EV across the masses. I'm not saying like Sylveon's the best EV. I know that there's a lot of people like. Personally, my favorite is Vaporeon, but I think on like a total scale, people have just fallen in love with the new EV so much. And then we have Pikachu, company mascot, adored by all. And then Genesect is a surprising one here. I guess because of the movie, it got a lot of coverage and people maybe like the techno idea behind it. And then we see Rayquaza, I guess a terror because of Mega Rayquaza. Again, like a power rating kind of idea, that it's seen that Rayquaza is one of the strongest Pokemon to be used ever in Pokemon when you get that Mega and can hold a Life Orb and you get a crazy amount of speed and you can Dragon Dance your way to victory. Yeah, people have a lot of respect for how much damage this Pokemon puts out. Zygarde, again with Zygarde's complete form, 10%, and a lot of other things that have been going on. It got a little anime feature. It's going to be in Pokemon Sun and Moon. There's a lot right there. And then we also have Charizard. Such, like, one of the most loved starter Pokemon of all time right here. And that's where it's going to just kind of show. It got an X and a Y Mega Evolution. We also have J-Pop Star as a Pokemon. We have Mewtwo, the most powerful created Pokemon. Then we have Eevee. So the top 12, some of it, a lot of it makes sense. I was about to say some of it, but a lot of it makes sense. Like, I don't really understand the Genesect and Zygarde personally, as well as the Meloetta, but the rest of it, you know, these are Pokemon that have either been around for a long time, they're a mascot in some way, like, they have a lot of universal love to them, because, I mean, everyone knows Eevee, and everyone appreciates Eevee in some way, because an evolution is going, like, someone has a favorite evolution. Everyone is going to look at Eevee and be like, well, I at least like this evolution about it. So I guess for its quote-unquote adaptability in that way, that's why it's at the top. So a lot of this makes sense. Now, if I went through the entire list of over 700 Pokemon individually, probably be a very long video. I just kind of want to break down the top 10 initially because there's a lot to this one, and then just kind of see where it goes from there. And now we have more and more numbers. So I'm going to try to see if I can zoom this in. Oh my goodness. Okay. Zooming didn't work as well as I thought it. What the hell is going on? Okay. Also, I do want to note that this is my first time looking at this entire list, so it's kind of like a live reaction as well. And I'm already really surprised by some of the like, what's Manaphy doing here at number 20? This poll was conducted before the giveaway, so that's kind of like a lot of the legendary Pokemon are wow, the legendary Pokemon are taking ahead way more than I thought they would, honestly. And I didn't expect some of these guys to be here, like Jirachi. Darkrai makes sense. I'd expect Darkrai to be a top 20, if not a top 10, just because it's such a filthy Pokemon to use. Everybody's got some love for Lucario. And then, you know, Deontay and the Hoopa also being like very, very new mythical Pokemon. And we also have the Keldeo. So, seems like mythical legendary Pokemon have a lot of reverence when it comes to like the Japanese fans and stuff. I also imagine it's a lot younger of an audience, so they might find them more cute or something. Also be very impressionable with like their exclusivity and just the new movies. You know, all these Pokemon have movie features, so maybe they're more memorable in that way, that if you really like the movie, it just makes it more likely that you're going to enjoy these Pokemon, especially with a lot of these Pokemon, Keldeo, Hoopa, Deontay, being very, very recent. We also have Reshiram, Kyogre pulling in at number 22, and my favorite Pokemon, Lugia, all the way back at 28. Kind of hurts. Like to see a top 10, but least there's still some Lugia love going on right there. And I mean, it depends on when you take this poll as well. If it was Fourth Generation with Heart Gold, Soul Silver, definitely going to be ranking in top 5 or something like that. And then we also have Shaman. Magnemite's a bit of a standout. Same with Dedenne. So those are something. Snorlax is here at 52. Awesome. Garchomp's at 42. So you can start seeing where the split comes in, because like a very appreciated competitive Pokemon. Same here with Landorus and Xerneas. And then it just kind of drops off from there. Also, Ho-Oh, less love than Lugia. That sounds about right. There are a lot of Ho-Oh fans out there. When you ask, it feels like more people do think Lugia is the better Pokemon. Kyurem's an interesting one, Blaziken as well. So now it starts to kind of get like split up between designs and competitive nature. You know, we start getting into Glaceon. I would say that would be the second most common evolution for when it comes to people enjoying them. Same with Gardevoir, kind of ranked along here with Lucario. And then we start getting, like, now we're just going to see evolutions start popping up, it seems, a lot more frequently, because it's still really awesome. Like, everyone has that evolution that they do enjoy. Goomy, rocking, what is that, number 68. I would expect Goomy to actually be a little higher. I guess all that Goomy hype, Lord Goomy, has died off. Ditto getting some appreciation. Zoroark, I expect to be a little lower on this list as well. So just, it kind of gets random. And then, you know, Regigigas, that seems like a very powerful, lore-centric Pokemon. Archeops is a cool dragon design. Yeah, Celebi, very forgotten as a mythical Pokemon compared to all these other guys. I mean, Shaman right there as well. This is where it starts getting like crazy. Looking at this down, Bulbasaur, you know, original 151 starters right here, and then it just kind of goes down. Mudkip at a solid 100. I heard you like Mudkip. It's in the top, what, 1/7 or so of Pokemon. Infernape's pretty loved, as well as Pichu and Raichu. Still hanging out in at least like the top 75. So we got 69 and 71 right there. There's our Umbreon, and then Legendary Bird starts kind of showing up as well. Articuno, Moltres, and Zapdos. Still fresh in everyone's minds. Might be because of the recent events, or it might be for other reasons. And then Noivern being pulled from the anime right here at number 85. And Magikarp at 91. People trolling in that Magikarp. Gotta love the Carp, as well as having Porygon there. So it looks like they're not too salty about all of those seizures. And I guess it's time to kind of get up. We also have some Dragon love over here. You know, Flygon. I believe I saw it somewhere already. Or am I just crazy? Like, I'm just staring at a wall of Pokemon. Oh yeah, we have Flygon, Salamence right here. So, you know, a lot of the powerful dragons starting to get representation and whatnot. So let's go and click on this right here. Now this is so weird. Like, because if I zoom in, I have to zoom out and then I zoom back in. And I can eventually get a nice picture, but oof, it starts getting some heavy zoom right there. And then I zoom in past it. Absolutely oh, here it is. Okay. So now we're starting to zoom out. Now we're starting to get into some crazier numbers. Might not be able to read them as much. Haha, no one likes the Kangaskhan though. Funny how everyone uses it and people aren't that much of a fan. Same with the Talonflame. Okay. Really now, that's entertaining, interesting, and hilarious to me, because it's like, okay, I hate using this Pokemon as much as I hate that it's used against me and it just trashes me or something. Arcanine, that's a Pokemon that's been appreciated. Now we get into Jolteon. Cyndaquil's chilling there, and wow, Cyndaquil's actually rated lower than Typhlosion. I'm also surprised Typhlosion's like, what, 134? It's crazy, and just a little bit upsetting. Going through the rest of this, Furret's just there. Dragonair still hanging on there. Staraptor. I mean, it's like, what do you count as good? You know, here's Sableye over at 150. And if we're counting like original 151, we have Whimsicott right there. It's like, what would you count as good or bad on this list? Again, top 700. So these Pokemon are still pulling in a good percentage range. Like, what, up to 140 would be top 20%. So still very appreciated at this rate. And then it starts to drop off from here, and you start seeing more obscure Pokemon. I guess people like the Wooper because it's funny. Feraligatr, there's some diehard Feraligatr fans out there. Frostos actually is pretty cool as well to see on this list. And then we have Azumarill, Totodile, a random Reggie Pokemon just chilling there, Bayonet. So yeah, it starts to come together, and let's get into the next part of this list. So we have Growlithe leading at 206, and then number 250 is going to be the Butterfree. Butterfree actually less loved than the Regirock, interestingly enough right there. And the Uxie, I'd imagine that because of Ash's Butterfree would at least be top 200 or something like that. Whoops, Slowbro came in, and now I screwed everything up. See, we have Axew, Avalugg is still in the top 50% of Pokemon right here. Same with all these guys. Like, I feel like the medium part of this, like the middle part of this list is going to be very lame. It's kind of like, yeah, I could see his Pokemon being here or not. I think like the top 100 or so, actually like the top 25, probably the most impactful, and then like the bottom 100. That's where you see like look, Muck is chilling out right here. Muck is more loved in Porygon 2 than like most of the Pokemon. Same with Aerodactyl. Like all these guys are still in the majority of appreciation. That's where Ferrothorn pops up, Gastrodon. So I'm wondering like what the criteria is here. It's just like those fans, because I know that every person watching this video, right now on screen, there's going to be their favorite Pokemon chilling in right here somewhere for some random reason. So I think that that's where like this list starts coming in. It's like, you know, the Pokemon that are more appealing than others by that point, or at least in like the evolutionary line. You know, Quilava. I'm a huge fan of Typhlosion. I love the whole Cyndaquil line, so that's why he's there. Oh no! No! Go! No! It's even worse than I thought. I saw Klefki, and I'm like, no, Slurpuff and Klefki rated in the like top 250 or so. I would hope a little more, but hey, it could be worse. It could be worse for the Keyring and the Slurpuff. Caracosta, Breloom. So yeah, it's like familiar faces. You know, we got familiar faces right here. I'm not even gonna worry about zooming in anymore for this. Like you can make out what most of those Pokemon are right here. Anything surprising like Doublade? Where's the Aegislash? I don't remember seeing Aegislash just yet. Got Dugtrio here. That's pretty cool. The Diggersby though. It seems like everything's reasonable at this point. Might have seen Aegislash earlier, but if we see it later, that'll be very surprising. I'd imagine Aegislash would be a more appreciated Pokemon. Next up, it's kind of the same thing. We just have some Pokemon. Drapion's right there. Ooh, Shady Penguin ranking in that top 400 or something. We have Ursaring, and then oh no, Drifblim. Drifblim is not well appreciated. And then we just have some random Pokemon. Maractus, kind of forgotten about. Trapinch, Pidove. Pidove outranking Noctowl just doesn't seem right to me, though. And there we go. So yeah, just a lot of like random pre-evolutions and stuff. Like, hey, there's just Patrat, because why not? And we also have some other Pokemon just hanging out around here. Kakuna. You know, someone's just like, hey, I'm going to click on that Kakuna to give him the vote over all of these other guys right here. And that is going to be the bottom 500, or this is like 400 to 500 right here, or something like that. Pangoro, everyone wanted the Panda Pokemon. It looks like, I think that this is definitely because of competitive. This is definitely because of competitive, because I think it just dropped off. You know, people wanted to use it, they never used it, and then it just became one of the more forgotten Pokemon because of it. But now we're starting to get serious. Now it's time to get serious. The bottom 200 Pokemon or so. Alright, zooming back in, just see what we got. No one really cares about Bergmite. Oh man, really? Skiddo? Really? Wow. Like I said, I would expect Go-Go, Pangoro. Like when those Pokemon were released, everyone flipped their minds. And then we don't have that. Below the Sawsbuck though. Sawsbuck's never been an impressive Pokemon to me. Wow. Okay, yeah, now it's actually like pointing out the really surprising ones. Like the ones I'd expect to be more loved and appreciated instead of the ones that you anticipate to not like really be like Marowak. I thought Marowak's a pretty cool Pokemon. Garchomp is rated, what was that? What was he, 40 something? So Garchomp's top 50. Gabite drops off severely from that, and same with Nidoqueen. No one really cares about Nidoqueen. Interesting. Yeah, we just have like a wall of Pokemon. You just gotta sort it out. Sunflora ranking higher than I thought. I thought that'd be like bottom 10. Not that Sunflora is bad or anything. I just like feel like it's one of the most forgotten Pokemon. I even put that on my list of most forgotten Pokemon. And Bagon, I thought Bagon was kind of cute. Did his own little thing, a Lomomola. Ah, there we go. The gear Pokemon don't belong anywhere high up on this list. And Persian's even down there. Giovanni should have gotten some more rep in here. All right, bottom 100, guys. Now, this is where I'm just going to zoom in a bit more, and we'll start to really break it down. Because, like, I want it to be a surprise here at the end as to what the worst Pokemon are. And we have Snover, Yamask, Mandibuzz. Now, if I actually list all these up, that'd be pretty annoying. Skrelp not getting a lot of love. Macargo, Granbull, Pidgeotto, Torkoal. Even Ash only a Torkoal and a Pidgeotto. So Ash's Pokemon don't get any special treatment if they're not, like, the most favored ones out of all. Snorunt and Nosepass actually dropped behind. I thought Snorunt's cool. Like, Frostlass was rated pretty high on this list, and Nosepass, I expect him to be here, though. Huntail, actually below the Gorbis. Spupa and Probopass. I wonder what the game developers think at this point. Like, of course, whenever you have a list of anything, something's going to be number 1, and something's going to be number last. But, here we go. So we have Slugma, Duskull, Huntail, Shieldon, Boldore, Fissure. They do things. Skuntank is pretty bottom out right there. Gligar I'd expect to be a little higher. And there we go. Now we're starting to get into the monkeys. Simipour and Panpour, not loved at all. And yeah, like you see all these higher, like the dragons higher up, but their pre-evolution forms just totally get forgotten about. Swoobat. See, I put Swoobat in my top 10 least favorite Pokemon, and people gave me flack for it. Well, I mean, it's like bottom 50 out of all the Pokemon. So I mean, statistically, mine makes sense. But it's my least favorite. We have Lairon not getting much love. I expect Lairon to be higher. It's a cool tank kind of design. Silcoon is just a ball with eyes. Makes sense. Tyrogue, it evolves into some more notable Pokemon. Wow. Yo, the Skorupi, not pulling it in at all. Simisage. Yo, are all the monkeys in like the bottom 100? Where was where was the Pansage or whatever? I don't know. Maybe they're at the bottom. So, oh, Pansear. There's Pansear right here. Okay, so we have, yeah, the monkeys not appreciate all. People got upset at me for that on my list as well. So it's good to see Pokemon from my least favorites pulling in. Wow. Honedge? I thought Ghost Sword was awesome. I don't remember where we saw the Aegislash, so let's just say probably top 100 or something. Numel, no! Numel's a cool guy. He just don't care. Greninja, so yeah, like, pre-evolution Pokemon, understandable. We have Basculin, because it's just a fish. That's all Basculin is. Tortuga, Kricketot, Vanillish! Ice cream Pokemon in the bottom. I'll take that. I'll take it. Where was the Vanillux? You know, either way, Vanillish is not a loved Pokemon at all. No ice cream Pokemon. Shelmet, we just watched him sweep on Fan Fridays. Cascoon is actually below right here. Shieldon, or Shelgon. Why did I say Shieldon? Shelgon, Carablast. Wow, Shelmet and Carablast. No one cares. Timber, Carvana, Tranquil. Yeah, Evolved Bird. Actually, wait. No, it's Tranquil and Pheasant. Yeah, Tranquil, I think I put Tranquil as one of the most forgotten Pokemon on my list as well. It's like, you think Pidove and Pheasant, and then you forget about Tranquil forever. Ooh, actually, I see some others like right here. Girder, you know, Girder and the Timber. No one cares about these guys. Lombre, Mankey, Elgyem. I think Conkeldurr was also pretty low on the list, so, you know, it's back in my 5th gen. Me not appreciating the 5th gen too much. And now it's time to see the bottom 4. Whoosh. Vigoroth. I guess we didn't see him here. Woobat. Oh my gosh. Think about it. Right here, we have the bottom 10 Pokemon on screen. So, I mean, it's like, yeah, we got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, Cascoon, Shelgon, Carablast, Timber, Carvana, Tranquil, Vigoroth, Woobat, Pawniard. Yeah, I guess that's fitting. Just a pawn. Just something you can cast away whenever you want to. And then Simisear. So, all the monkeys, I don't know where Pansage went. So, all the monkeys are in the bottom 100. We have Wormadam chilling here as well. And just some random other Pokemon. Like, yeah, Pawniard getting cast aside, Woobat. Like, the bottom 3 actually make a lot of sense. And I'm actually kind of surprised that Simisear isn't, it isn't not fully evolved Pokemon. Like, that's a fully evolved Pokemon, and it's done. And we don't really see too many of those. Like, the last other fully evolved Pokemon on this list, besides like Basculin or Single Stage, Dodrio. Dodrio is actually on like my most forgotten Pokemon, I think, next to Doduo and stuff. And other than that, yeah, so we have like the monkeys being primarily on the most evolved. Loudred, even though its Boom Burst competitivity is okay, or competitive viability is okay. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Just kind of checking out the best and worst Pokemon of all time as voted by the fans. Guys, enjoy the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.